What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Allen, and this is the Movie Minute. This episode of the Movie Minute, we're talking about Godzilla Minus One, written and directed by Takashi Yamazaki, and what an incredible experience. So let's talk about Godzilla Minus One. Man, I don't know necessarily where to start with this film. Obviously, Godzilla is a huge IP that's been around for many, many years and has seen many, many iterations. Some really great, some not so much, okay? And I mean, it's not like the original films have aged super well in terms of like visual effects. I still think the original is really great. But it is old, and so I see why people kind of are disconnected from the franchise to a certain extent. This is a really unique movie because it's the first time we're kind of getting a period piece Godzilla movie. It's set post World War II, and obviously the Americans have come in already and won the war essentially, and are occupying parts of Japanese waters, and so it's a very tense time in Japanese history. I don't want to spoil a lot for you, but the gist of the movie is we are watching a Japanese pilot who has survived the war, who has come back. He's kind of lost everything, and he's trying to put his life back together when Godzilla comes in and starts adding on to the destruction that the World War II had just done to Japan. And it has a lot of dynamics involving the Japanese people in relationship to the Japanese government, the Japanese people in relation to the Americans and the Russians, and all of those tensions that were going on in those times are present in this movie. And then Godzilla enters in to ramp up that tension and ramp up the conflict. And it is really, really well done, you guys. So let's talk about what I liked because there is a lot. This movie is incredible. It is easily the most entertaining movie of the year. I can say that almost hands down. The story in this film is something you don't see a lot anymore in film. And what that is that every single character plays a key role in the story. They are integral to you understanding the motivations and the reasons for things happening and why characters feel the way they do. There are multiple themes over multiple character arcs that are all interconnected. In short, in layman's terms, the film is written incredibly. There are so many little connections that are rich, that enrich the experience, that make you understand the characters deeper. It is an impeccably structured story. It was so refreshing to watch a film that really dotted the I's and crossed the T's when it came to telling a complete, cohesive, coherent story that you emotionally connected with. This has it all. The performances are incredible. I'm not going to say all the Japanese actors' names because I won't do their names justice, but just beautiful performances from them. I saw it in Japanese with English subtitles. That's important to bring up, and I think that that's the way this movie should be seen. I think that there is a dub of the English, I believe, but you really should watch this film in Japanese. There's just something so unique to this genre and to Godzilla of watching these characters in their culture, and it was absolutely enriching. All of the VFX in this movie are incredible. The fact that this film only costs, I rumored 15 million. I've heard that that might be off, but even then, even if it's double, even if this film costs 30, 40 million, it's unbelievable in this day and age that a film like this that looks this good and has this much visual effects in it costs that much money. It would cost triple, quadruple that if it had been made here in the US. And we'll get into that in a little bit later, and I'll kind of key you into why did this movie cost less. But the soundtrack and the sound design, Godzilla, his design, his audio, just everything about him just so captures the original kaiju feel, like this monster god who comes down, and it is epic, you guys. I can't even tell you how many times I legitimately in the theater was like, it was so epic. It blew my mind. The soundtrack of this film is so emotional and cultural and nuanced. I mean, I can't wait to buy this soundtrack on vinyl, my friends. It is just absolutely mind-blowingly good. The editing is on par. I mean, all of the balance of there's drama, there's comedy, there's thrilling thematic aspects to this movie that just blow you away. And it's so emotionally resonant as well. I can't talk highly enough about it. So much so that I was gonna talk about what I don't like about the movie. There's almost nothing. I struggled to think about what problems did I even have with this film. They're really so nitpicky that I don't even want to share them. There's a couple little believability elements within the story that happened that I was kind of like, meh, maybe. But overall, absolutely incredible. So let's talk about ratings. You guys, this movie, entertainment scale, 10 out of 10. Easy, easy 10 out of 10. Probably above that, you guys. I mean, it was so shockingly entertaining. I was not expecting to be as entertained by this movie as I was. That might be part of it. Maybe I'm overhyping this for you, but I mean, this was insanely entertaining. From a critical standpoint as well, I mean, this movie was beautiful. Cinematography was beautiful. Writing, everything was hitting on every single note. 10 out of 10 for critics, guys. 10 out of 10. This is my favorite movie of the year, basically. There's a lot of movies that surround that, but from an entertaining, just how much I enjoyed this film, this was the most enjoyable film of the year for me. 10 out of 10 across the board for me. Solid 10. So, obviously, from a badge standpoint, this is absolutely a popcorn bucket. And I mean, you should run, not walk to the theater to see this. I've said it before, and I'll say it for this one. Go see this movie. This is why I go to the movies, because of movies like this that make me feel like a kid again. They wow me. They make me cry. They make me connect so deeply with the characters that it makes me want to tell better stories. That's what this type of movie is. And it's hands down the most fun movie of the year for me. For families out there, it is a scary film, but it's more like wartime scary. There's a little bit of blood and violence, and there's monster scary. Godzilla is scary, and there are some really scary scenes for kids. So family-wise, I mean, it probably earns its rating of 13, PG-13 and up. I mean, I could see some 11, 12-year-olds going, but yeah, just keep that in mind when you go to the theater. So, if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe. Would love to have you on this journey with me. And until next time, peace out, everybody.